What are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? Askreddit, ancient infamy. Trying to turn my hobby into a business. I crochet for fun because it relaxes me if you add in trying to figure out how much to charge for a project. Dealing with people being unhappy with a high price. Then having to finish projects in a certain amount of time. It is no longer fun. A blanket might take me 2 weeks. Or 5 years. A small stuffed animal may take me 24 hours or a month. I do it for me. Not to make money or hustle. Edit. Link to my current work in progress. https imager.com/gallery/jlam8 ZG king size chevron blanket in progress. Been working on it over a year. Basic red heart super saver yarn, but the colorful yarn, not black or white, had to be bulk ordered due to being unable to find it otherwise. Total cost around $120 just in material. You really want to pay me that plus hours worked? Succubus agenda. 10,374. To become a manager. No thanks. I've done that and hated every second of the stress. My job right now is enjoyable. I clock in at 8:30. Work really hard until 1 o'clock. Take my lunch. Work really hard till 5 and clock out. No stress after hours. Outside of the occasional, shit, I forgot to do XYZ. I don't have to get called in to cover someone else. I don't have to worry about what my team members are doing or calling off for. I am not juggling 45 team members and schedules and paychecks. This isn't to say my job is all sunshine and rainbows. It can be stressful. But nothing at all like what I dealt with when I was managing CNAs at a nursing home. The Berg the Word. 1746. That hiring only people who are leaders or have leadership potential is the way to run a successful business. We need people who want to do their job. We don't need a bunch of go-getters when we have too many already. We end up with a bunch of people who all think their way is the best way and nothing gets done. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do your job and not be in charge. Titania T-Rex. 5,985. To quit corporate world and start a business. I like my little peaceful job. Some people are not meant to be business owners and I feel like I'm one of those. Aroharo 0513. 12,497. Rat race at work, especially climbing the corp ladder. SSS 100,100, 3,064. The TV shows they watch. Ceramic Zero, 4,760. I am tired of people trying to convince me that working excessively long hours is the key to success. The hustle culture that glorifies overworking and equates it with dedication and achievement is something I find problematic. Bubba for Fun. 1333. Ice Baths, Advocate Purple, 1296. What film can you watch over and over again without getting sick of it? Askreddit, Peachfulness. Bloodsport. JCVD. Conan the Barbarian. Arnie. XA0 Land Before Time Robocop. 1980 90ths. TMNT. 1990. Terminator 2. Nomad 1128. 90. Not Tombstone. Back when channel surfing was a thing. If I came across it on TV I'd always stop and watch it to the end. I watched it in Spanish one day because it was on a Spanish language channel. Admiral Bonesaw. 1101. Groundhog Day. Elephants Hughes. 1094. The Matrix. Morpheus 1967, 1470. My Cousin Vinny. Vivid Desk 7347, 977. Jurassic Park I, 1993, Zelacedial_Yam_591, 2502. Ghostbusters, Alpha Ba 00, 493. Shaun of the Dead, I just love this movie. I don't know if it's the British humor, the casting, or the balance of humor and horror, but I can't get enough. I have probably watched the film about 20 times now, and it just gets better. Still a great movie, a lot of fun, and I love zombies. So there is another plus. Great film, and I recommend it to all who love horror and humor. And it's a great British film too. STI David 123. 609. What's something that's actually quite dangerous but people act like it's completely safe? Quote, askreddit. Cherry_blossom bliss. Sleep deprivation. It likely causes cancer and Alzheimer's. And when driving is just as dangerous as driving under the influence. Wave of spring. 4588. Compressed air. TW 2241, 3456. Posting how much money you have on social media. Agitated patience 5729, 5711. Tanning. Libimi, 2437. A downed power line and animals that are acting strangely. POCKETSANDOFTIME 69, 1778. Many people seem too comfortable with driving while drunk, that they specifically are the one that's good at it, so it's fine. Eternal_bagel, 2581. The trope of hitting foe or even friend over the head with a blunt object and incapacitating them for a few hours. In reality, this act should hurt a lot, but if you do it with enough force to achieve the TV result, you will most probably have caused some brain damage, if not even have killed them. Phoenix XL, 2698. Mixing prescription medicines. Always ask the pharmacist about a new medicine and how it may affect others you are taking. Too many Tylenol or Advil a day. Not being aware of the effects a prescription can have on you. I usually scoffed at the ones that say, no operating heavy machinery, until I was on one that really affected me negatively. Driving a car and trying not to fall asleep in the early afternoon, all because you took one little pill, is scary. TBJKBE. 4530. What terrible childhood experience did you miss the full impact of until you were older? askreddit. Hot Pocket 11. Realizing that having a drunk parent was not the norm. My mom got kicked out of all my sports games, which I just ignored. She was always passed out by the time I came home, or she was on a rant until she passed out. This started when I was about 5, I think, and I didn't notice how bad it was until my grandma, her mom, was at my 13th birthday party, where my mom said how ugly the gifts were that I was getting from everyone and yelling how we should go home when we were at the bowling alley. When we went home finally, I wanted to put my poster. I got up and I asked for help to find tape. She threw an empty dispenser at my face and said it was her day and she gets to talk to her mom and to leave her alone. Used to the behavior, I just went to my room. My grandma began to leave and cried to me, saying how sorry she was and that she never knew my mom treated me so poorly. That's when I knew it wasn't normal. Firm_mountain_7398. 2005. My mom had full custody of me as a child, but I got to see my dad every now and again. And part of the custody arrangement was that I would call my dad every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Why 7 a.m.? Who knows? It was a weird decision in hindsight. Sometimes, when I call my dad on Sunday mornings, he'd pick up the phone and say weird things. Or I couldn't understand what he was saying. I figured he was tired. I didn't think much of it beyond that. Well, he was a severe alcoholic. I wouldn't have known at the time that he was extremely hungover or maybe even drunk. After all, it was Saturday the day before. But what I will say, whenever I saw him in person, he was always sober. Although he was an alcoholic, he did what he could to make sure I never saw him drunk. So I never witnessed him drunk in the 18 years of the custody arrangement. I really respect him for that. Now that I am an adult. Guilty scale minus 1079. 8,355. Molestation. 70 years later and recently had a severe panic attack. Gold cover 4236, 2267. My mother was abusive and I definitely felt the impact when she punched me in the face. It wasn't until years later in therapy that I connected my tendency to not express emotion to the fact that I literally wasn't allowed to express emotions as a child. At least, not without severe consequences. Esoteric_enigma, 2967. Removed, 3501. Death of a friend. Severely traumatized me and has shaped a lot of my decisions. Both good and bad. I thought I was handling it when I was young, but didn't realize until I was in my late 20s what it actually did to me and how much it fucked me up. Far_veterinarian 6077. 761. My father was held at gunpoint when I was a young child. He was at work and he got robbed. I was maybe 5 years old. He developed extreme PTSD from this event. He got violent. He became a scary man that I no longer wanted to be around. I remember crying to my mom all the time, asking her why dad didn't want me anymore. I'm adopted. I was terrified I had done something wrong, and that he wanted to send me back. It wasn't until I was 16 years old that I learned what had happened. Apparently my father had broken down in front of the gunman, telling him he had a little girl at home that he had to get back to. That's why my father wasn't shot. He told the dude threatening to end his life about me. He became a shell of a man afterwards. He realized, I guess, that he wouldn't always be able to protect us or something like that. I miss my dad. He didn't really die that day, but he has never been the same. Edit. I did not expect this to reach so many people, and I'm so sorry that it has. Sleepy Rabbit 03, 2665. My mom tried to push me down the stairs when I was 10. She was severely depressed and I didn't really think much of it then. And I never blamed her for it. Now I realize that it was actually a pretty bad thing to happen to a little kid. Air for the D9239. 1094. 4.